Morning! So today, it's a really busy day and there's so much to do. Firstly, I'm going to London a little bit later. There's a new speaker thing being announced and I want to be there for that. But then also, because I've got to clear a few things off at home. Remember this? If you haven't already seen my little video, this is the Cooler Master Liquid 120, and unfortunately it's just leaked all over my PC. And essentially what happened, don't worry, I won't be saying that word again for the rest of the video, is that this air cooler was where obviously the Master Liquid was, and it just leaked right down on the top of the card at the back and sort of went in here on this screw. But I've been drying out the card over the last few days, and amazingly, so far, it seems to have worked, which is crazy when you think the whole PCB was completely soaked, really. I mean, you can see from these Instagram pictures that things really didn't look good. So I have to say, very, very impressed with the build quality of the Poseidon. That seems to be working absolutely fine. As for the reason that I'm so busy though, it's sort of related to this. I've had to remove this from my old case, it's my old PC, to make way for the new Coffee Lake chips that I'm currently testing and benchmarking. So I'm using a GTX 1080 because the 1080 Ti was out of commission when I started, but I've now got to put that in my Ryzen PC and do a comparison. Now the way that I do benchmarking is actually pretty straightforward. Because I'm testing CPUs, Gears of War is actually a really good benchmark because it does actually give you a CPU and GPU frame rate. And it's quite archaic, but the way I record all my results is just with a bit of paper. So I'm testing the 7700K with the 8700 non-K, because that's unfortunately the one I have, then the Ryzen 1700, and then I just simply write all the results down, put them in Excel and produce some graphs. We're cooking on gas now, boys and girls, I suppose. Coffee Lake rendering out now. So by the time this goes live, well, it's already live for you, I suppose. So go and check that out if you haven't already. Let me know what you thought. I've got, well, the time is now, what's that, about 10 to 1, and I need to leave in 10 minutes. I haven't even eaten. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, top tip with pizzas, the best way to make an ordinary pizza like this much better is preheat the oven for about 15 minutes with a pizza stone in it. They cost about £8 on Amazon. And then when you stick your pizza in, it'll come out significantly better than it otherwise would. Probably should give you some more details essentially about what's happening today. So, new product is a speaker package for something called Dolby Atmos by a company called Focal. By the way, this is going very low budget. This is smartphone only for the rest of this video. But essentially Dolby Atmos is a technology that enables you to have things like ceiling speakers so that you can be surrounded, if you like, by the audio. But it's very clever technology. But the cool thing is, this launch is actually taking place at the Dolby headquarters in London, which is obviously why I'm going to be there. You know what's just happened? I've got on the train and I've realised I don't have my headphones. So I have now got out of the Focal event. That's how you pronounce it, not Focal, I'm saying it wrong. But it was actually quite exciting because it's the first time I've actually got to listen to a Dolby Atmos setup in the home. So if you're not familiar, essentially you can, I've just said essentially again, what you can do is you can get 2 Atmos speakers at the front, and they sit on top of your normal speakers, or like these Focal ones, they're actually embedded in the units, which means that they fire up at the ceiling and then they get it reflected back down, so you get the effect of ceiling audio without actually having to put ceiling speakers in your room. And it worked really well, and the overall package I think is very enticing. It obviously is quite expensive. I mean, it's £1,099 for the set, but in terms of sort of home cinema, that's actually quite affordable, and I think it's quite promising. Off the train and it's getting dark. Unfortunately, we're heading towards winter. So I'm back home. The time is roughly around about 8:30. Unfortunately, I do have more work to do. I'd like to get in some Destiny 2 a little bit later, but until then I will have to do some more editing. Today was also the Google event, so they showed off a new Google Home Mini, they showed off their new Pixel phones, and then a few other things. The phones especially are very interesting to me and is something I will definitely be getting in and covering on the channel. Home Mini as well, I want to cover all of Google Home stuff because I've been using it for a long time and I haven't actually covered it yet. But then the thing I wanted to leave you guys with today is that I am actually doing a charity event in the next couple of days with Acer. So it will be myself, a load of other people, including our very own tech chap. And I know obviously there's so much stuff going on in the world at the moment, but if you have any money and you want to give it to a very good cause, which is the British Heart Foundation, then I'd really appreciate if you check out the page, have a read, and if you think it's a good cause, then obviously give us a little bit of money. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and I'll see you in the next one.